National League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com. For the first time, all 4 division series are tied at 1 apiece, and now the scene shifts in this divisional matchup 116 miles from Philadelphia to Flushing as the Phillies and Mets square off in a crucial swing game of this NLDS. Welcome inside the broadcast booth with some of those images. Adam Amin, the World Series champs, A.J. Przinsky, and Adam Wainwright. So pretty cool, right? Game 1, a wild Mets comeback. They scored 5 in the late innings, and then we saw what happened in Philadelphia in Game 2, a back-and-forth affair, and the Phillies walk it off.
Well, 2 amazing games in Philadelphia. Amazing atmospheres. People were into the game, they're out of the game, they're into the game, they're going crazy, and then we come here to Citi Field. We've shown grimace, we've shown the OMG. This game 3 is going to be OMG here at Citi Field.
And I've played some playoff games here. I can tell you this is an electric atmosphere, and if you let it, these fans can get in your head.
Well, we'll start off with the home team. The New York Mets have had clutch hits throughout this incredible 2-week excursion, but now the 24-year-old who started the season in the minor leagues, Mark Vientos, is coming up huge.
Well, the movie A Star is Born with Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper was a few years ago. Right now, it's Mark Vientos. His star is being born in front of our eyes in the postseason and in this series, the first 2 games. 5 for 8 in this series, a couple home runs, 3 RBIs. The key for Mark Vientos, though, big hits. When the Mets need it, this kid is coming through. He's hitting behind Lindor, which is important, and in front of Nimmo. He's driving runs in. He's getting on base for the other guys, and he has the Mets postseason record right now. 7 RBIs through 5 games. If he keeps going like this, he's going to become a Met legend.
We know where it starts for Philadelphia and where it ends with Philadelphia. The name on every coach and manager's lips over the course of the last week has been Bryce Harper, and he delivered in Game 2.
He did. Philly's got a star of their own. This guy is the thing. He's the catalyst. He's the one that the entire Mets lineup, they have to figure out how they're going to pitch him. If they're not going to pitch to him, they got to decide whether they want the guys behind him to beat him. Early on, they tipped their hand. They weren't going to pitch to him, but then they finally let in one fastball across the plate. He hit it about 450 feet to center field, and he took a crowd that was almost dead in the water there in Philly and just completely electrified them. He got them on their feet, and the Philadelphia Phillies came back and won a clutch Game 2.
11-0 when he hits a home run in the postseason for the Philadelphia Phillies. He did so in Game 2, and they were victorious. Aaron Nola has been a clutch playoff performer, typically the Game 2 starter. Rob Thompson went with Christopher Sanchez in Game 2, so Nola could throw here at Citi Field against Sean Manaea, who has played well as of late. Had to start in the wild card series against Milwaukee, had a no decision, pitched well against Philadelphia the last time he saw them in late September. All 4 division series are tied up at 1 apiece. The Mets and the Phillies, a crucial Game 3. Thrillers in the first 2. What do we have in store tonight? From Flushing, it's next on FS1. Some oddities and some interesting twists and turns. Some Latin pop stars born in front of their eyes, and plenty of clutch moments as they have made their way to the division series, and they are ready to go. As you look at some of these fans here in Flushing, we'll take a look at today's same-game parlay, available now on FanDuel. There is a little bit of a chill in the air as we get set to go here tonight. Grimace is ready. I hope you're warm in that costume this evening. High 60s, just that little bit of chill makes it feel like playoff baseball. Tom Verducci, they are pumped for playoff baseball and to see their Mets. They haven't done it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Adam, if it sounds like a homecoming game here, it is for the Mets. It's been a long time coming. 16 days on the road, 3,500 miles, 2 clinchers, 1 pumpkin for the playoffs, and now they're back where they want to be. This is a team that has been looking forward to this moment for 3 weeks, and this crowd is fired up.
For what could be called the biggest game at Citi Field in nearly a decade. And Sean Manaea will face a dangerous leadoff man in Kyle Schwarber, who homered off of him a few weeks ago. And goes after the first pitch. Strike 2. 1-2 strikes on Schwarber. Has already pumped out a leadoff home run in this series. In game 1, he had 15 of them during the regular season to set a new major league record. One of those came against Sean Manaea back on September the 21st. Manaea gave up a leadoff home run to Jackson Chourio in Milwaukee. 2-2.
You can see right away what Sean Manaea is bringing to the table. Way across his body, he's going to crossfire it in. He's going to use that fastball at the top.
You all right? Huh?
2 strikes on Kyle Schwarber at the top of this Phillies order. Castellanos had the walk-off, his 5th of the season. 4 of them during the regular campaign to lead Major League Baseball. Also had a home run behind Harper. Alec Bohm is back in the lineup. Sosa is at second. Schwarber pops it up foul. Third team in 3 years for Sean Manaea. Padres, Giants, and now the New York Mets on a 2-year deal. He can opt out at the end of the season, making his 4th career playoff start, 5th appearance. 2-2 pitch. A really good regular campaign. He tied his career high with 12 wins. He had the best ERA of his career at 3.47.
You can tell the funkiness that he's got because a very good fastball hitter's at the plate, and he's just fighting balls off down the left field line.
8th pitch coming to Schwarber. Is hit in the air to center field. Taylor is ranging back all the way to the track. One down for Trey Turner, and Sean Manaea used the sweeper to improve his arsenal. The sinker has completely changed the type of pitcher he is.
It's completely changed it. He didn't even barely throw a sinker last year. This year he threw it at 45%. It's really not a sinker. It's more of a 2-seam runner. He's going to use it at the top of the zone, and it's got great carry to it. Coming from that weird angle, that is a tough look for a hitter.
Turner takes a strike, 1-1.
Biggest step for me, Wayno. 23-9 this year when Sean Manaea starts. That's what you look for in a guy. How does the team do?
Well, that's all.
Yes, his numbers were great. But 23-9 when he starts with these New York Mets.
Excellent campaign for Manaea. 32 years of age from Valparaiso, Indiana. Pours in a strike to Turner. It's 2-2. On the ground is short. Lindor with a tough hop. Throws out his counterpart. And that'll bring up Bryce Harper and the Bluebirds.
Yes, the Mets have said they're going to pitch around Bryce Harper. But 2 outs, nobody on, left on left. You got to go after Harper right here.
I agree 100%.
Harper muscles one foul.
Unless he hits a homer, then they should have walked him.
Yeah,
No.
of course.
Even if he hits a homer, it's only 1-0. I just think that first pitch right there was huge. He threw a heater in, jammed Harper, sent him a message. Hey, I'm coming after you. I love that.
The 1 home run Harper hit off Manaea was in London. Harper celebrated with the soccer celly out in England. 0-2. Hard hit ball towards short. Backhand Lindor. Inning over. Lindor will lead it off for the Mets in the bottom of the 1st. Start in the rotation in 7 years. One of baseball's most durable pitchers. And he is playoff tested. 10th career playoff start for Aaron Nola, who faces the New York Mets for the 29th time in his career, coming off another excellent campaign.
You see the numbers there, 14-8 with a 3.57. I love that he's still throwing 200 innings. This guy's making every start, still going to CG every now and then. Strikes out a good number of people. You see his repertoire right here. He's going to use that four seam at the top, but he's going to throw more curveballs than he is anything else. Mix the sinker in. He's had great feel for that changeup through the years. He is a real pitcher.
Here's Lindor. There is strike one. The fans were chanting MVP for Lindor as he came off the field at the end of the top of the first. They have not seen Lindor play since September the 8th against Cincinnati. You can hear those chants for the man who really is the Mets MVP this year.
He made two great plays in the first inning on Turner and Harper's balls that were both hit over 106 miles an hour. He is the, as they used to say in New York on the other side of town, the straw that stirs the drink.
And Lindor cracks one in the air, right center field. Rojas and Castellanos are back and all the way to the 380 marker in right center for a long, loud first out. One away for New York. Vientos is coming up. We told you about how clutch he has been as of late. Brandon Nimmo has had clutch hits. Alonso was clutch in Milwaukee and hit a home run in game 2. Winker is back in the lineup at the DH spot, their second left-handed batter. Here is Vientos, who, as AJ said, has become a star in this postseason. Big cut for a guy who, as you mentioned, had 27 home runs. 17 of them came at Citi Field. He was one of the best home hitters for the Mets this year.
And he was in AAA to start the year in Syracuse. Him and Jose Iglesias, their 2 and 5th hitter, both started the year in AAA, but now here they are both contributing to a team.
Quite the juxtaposition, right? You got the veteran Iglesias, who has played 1,100 games basically, and then here's a 24-year-old in Vientos who's finally getting a full slot at the big league level this year. Nola's 0-2 is a nasty breaking ball for out number 2. He loves that curveball. Let's take a look at Fox Foresight. It's powered by Google Cloud. 39% chance to score 4+ runs. The Mets have been a big inning playoff team so far this season. 27 runs scored in the playoffs. They've scored 10 runs against the Philly bullpen in this series, thanks to Google Cloud for powering those real-time insights. 2 down for Brandon Nimmo. And a strike on that curveball.
That's the key right there, right, Wayno?
Yes, sir.
Can he throw that curveball for strikes? He got a swing and miss from Vientos. First pitch, he drops one into Nimmo. It just changes a hitter's approach when you know a pitcher can drop in that curveball at any time.
1-1.
Watch the horizontal movement on the curveball. He's got an even lower arm slot than Manaea does. He's going to throw that thing. He's going to have some real good sweep to it, almost like a sweeper.
Well, that's it.
And then he's going to back it up right there with that 4-seam and 2-seam. It's going to have a lot of horizontal movement.
Two balls and a strike on Brandon Nimmo. And it's 2-2. There's the fastball.
Oh, that's the one Nimmo wanted. That was 94, not in, not away, pretty much center cut. Nimmo's thinking that's the one I need to hit, because now he's going to get a breaking ball or that 2-seam right at his front hip.
A 2-2 from Nola is whipped inside and low. 3-2.
He tried it. He just pulled it. Early in the game, he might not have his full feel for his arsenal, right, Wayno? But that was the 2-seamer. He tried to start at his hip and run it back over.
Yep, just got a little fine with it, pulled it a little bit.
Nimmo going for this 3-2 pitch. He'll take it for called strike 3, and he knew it.
That was the one.
A fastball freezes Nimmo. A pair of Ks for Aaron Nola, and we've got a scoreless first in game 3. Stymied through about a game and a half, and then Harper and Castellanos and Bryson Stott. Turner got on base. These guys woke up in a big way, and it led to a wild 7-6 Philadelphia walk-off win in Game 2, and it was Castellanos, the walk-off king for Philadelphia this year, who did it to finish it off. He's hit Manaea well in his career, and he sends one the other way out towards Starling Marte. He's got it for out number 1. So break down Sean Manaea. The change he made had a lot to do with Chris Sale and that crossfire action.
Well, I'm going to let Waino get into his arm, but I noticed this. Look at where his front foot is in both of these. They're completely different on the rubber. That's the crossfire that leads to dropping down. Now, Waino, I know you want to get into his arm action, but as a hitter, that makes more of a difference to me.
Here's Alec Bohm. Strike 1.
Yeah, and I think to your point, just moving that far over on the rubber towards the first base side just creates even more angle. And you see his back foot has to get off of the mound even faster.
Bohm, a bouncer towards third. Tough play, Vientos. A turning throw in time. Sterling play for out number 2.
Just a great play. We talked about a star being born on offense, but he's improved so much defensively. This is such a tough play. He is in foul territory. And let's give Pete Alonso a little credit over there with the big footwork for the polar bear.
I like that he knew he had to get rid of it quick. Didn't mind bouncing it over there, but he knew he had to get rid of it.
Manaea recognizing his corner infielders.
When in doubt, bounce it. Always bounce it when in the infield, because give the guy a chance.
1-0 on JT Realmuto. And the Philly catcher takes a strike.
Watch his first movements. Manaea's first movement, his hip goes straight out towards the other dugout, towards his own home dugout. And everything's going that way, and then just crossfire, just slings it in there.
Before the July 25th game when the Braves came to play the Mets, Sale was pitching, and Manaea saw him in the dugout, saw that crossfire action, went to the pen the next day and switched to that. That sparked the change. His 1-2. Ooh, that was way too far across, and he got JT Realmuto. So Realmuto is the first Philly base runner. So part of that crossfire action, Sean Manaea actually began warming up in the opposite section. So he's warming up on the left mound, but throwing to the right home plate in this shot to accentuate that crossfire and get comfortable with that motion and delivery. Here's Austin Hayes making his first start. And a bouncer to third, grabbed by Vientos, who makes a couple of nice plays in that second inning. Nice coat like that. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more at MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason gear.
Which one do we think Waino will wear to his next concert?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Here's Pete Alonso. And he swings at the first pitch. Launches it to right. Back Castellanos. Pete Alonso back at Citi Field. 1-0 New York. Iglesias takes a strike. Pete Alonso, in the biggest game he's played at Citi Field in his 6-year Met career, takes Aaron Nola deep yet again.
Well, we know his homer in Milwaukee was like one of those ones where you're like, yeah, but how many parks is that a homer in? That right there, you go upper tank to right field, AJ, that's an absolute bomb.
His bat went into the upper tank too when he flipped it. It was awesome.
1-1 to Iglesias. His line towards third. Past Bohm, a base hit. Back to the home run.
I don't know that this was a mistake. It's up and out over the plate. Pete likes it out there. He's had some great numbers against Aaron Nola, usually on balls middle in. This one he goes the other way, and this is an epic bat flip that he goes upper tank to right field, and then he throws his bat into the heavens.
Here's Winker taking a strike.
I'm pretty sure Nola, when he let that go, thought the worst that would happen, maybe a fly ball to right if Pete swung at it.
Yeah, he executed that perfectly. We've been saying it, though, when the Polar Bear's right, he uses right field.
And now Winker towards Castellanos. What a catch! But he dropped it. It is going to be ruled a live ball. On his way to second is Iglesias. And Castellanos could not hold on. Winker is saying it's a live ball. Now Harper's going to tag first base just in case it was caught by Castellanos, which would have led to a double play.
They're got to have to review this. They have to. What's the rule? No. What did he? Yeah, James Hoy is already like, yeah, we're going to have to look at this one. But we're gonna need to go back to, Adam, your NFL days, Des Bryant, Calvin Johnson. What constitutes a catch? I thought he caught it and then lost it on the transfer.
Castellanos is saying he had it until he was transferring. Oh, he's got it.
That feels like a catch based off the transfer. Kind of the naked eye common sense feel to what that play looked like.
Okay, then the next question is, what do they do about the runner? Because the runner on first didn't go back. They got to allow him just to go back to first, right? Because the umpire in right field was saying safe, 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 safe.
Castellanos, you see on the transfer, claiming that's when he lost the ball. And that is a replay review. It is presented by Zoom.
It's an incredible play. I thought it was a home run off the bat.
Everybody did at Citi Field, I think.
What a play by Castellanos to even reach up to snare that one. He made a nice catch in game two coming in. That one going out to that deep wall in right.
Let's check one other thing here. Here's Iglesias. Now he thinks it's going over his head. Then he goes back to make sure they didn't pass each other. Iglesias doesn't know what to do.
No,
they were short.
They were short. They were short.
So Edwin Moscoso, the right field umpire, said save. So Iglesias never went back and tagged up. So that's where it's going to get interesting. What do you do with the runners? Because the Phillies did throw it to first and tag first. So technically it should be out, but because the umpire's call, I don't know.
It looked to me like he waited until the umpire called safe to run to second. So I think they got to give him the base, I think.
James Hoy is the crew chief on this 6-umpire crew.
Let's see if he waits until the umpire down the line here calls safe. He's going back. He's going back. He calls safe. Then he goes to second.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. It was a catch. The batter runner is out. The runner at second will be returned to first base. Philadelphia has both challenges.
You can't punish Iglesias for a call that the umpire made. He operated under the assumption, as you pointed out on the replay, Wayno, of the right fielder's no catch call. So he gets first base back. It is an out. It is a very impressive play by Castellanos to make that grab, to take extra bases away from Winker, and there is one down with Iglesias at first.
Wow, what a catch. Fans all over him. Look at the fans screaming at him. What a catch by Castellanos, and the right call by the people in New York and the umpires here.
Here's Marte. He swings at the first pitch and sends it out to Rojas in center.
Pretty evident, AJ, they're going to be aggressive to the fastball. They don't want to wait around on that breaking ball. They're going to wait anything firm, they're going to be ready to swing at. We'll see if Nola will put his changeup to work because of that.
So now there are 2 down for Tyrone Taylor. Already Some fireworks in this second inning. The Alonso homer on the first pitch of the frame set it off. Second start of the series for Tyrone Taylor. He swings at the first pitch and hooks it towards the corner. Foul.
I think old Mr. Nola better start throwing some breaking balls and some changeups first pitch. The Mets are, as soon as they see heater, they are going.
Gotta start pitching backwards, AJ.
All 5 hitters in this inning have swung at the first pitch except for Iglesias. It was the third pitch. There's a strike to Taylor. Now 0-2. And after all that, a chance for Nola to get out of the inning with just the Alonso homer against him.
It's such a good job coming back with fastball. There are so many times a hitter pulls one foul on you like that on a fastball. I think he got you off the fastball. He come right back with it.
0-2 to Taylor is a little high. It's been 9 days since Nola's last start. He was purposeful with how he mapped out the week. He had bullpens. He had running sessions. He knows what this Mets lineup is like. This is his 29th career start against New York. Obviously first in the playoffs. First ever playoff series between these two. And he gets Taylor on that nasty knuckle curve to close out the frame. Somehow that was just an 11-pitch inning. But the first pitch of the frame was launched by Polar Pete. The last few weeks, the home runs that he has hit have gone the opposite way. This one does to put the Mets on top in Game 3. To New York, where the Mets are playing their first home game since September the 22nd. And Mundo Sosa steps in, and that crossfire action from Sean Manaea clips another Phillies right-hander. This time it's Sosa on the shoulder, and he's aboard. And Carlos Mendoza will not challenge that, so one pitch to put the leadoff man on base for Philadelphia.
Manaea's been known to clip an elbow or two, and he walks a lot of people. He's got over 60 walks this year, and he has an incredibly low whip still. It's because he just doesn't give up hits. Hardly gives up any hits.
By the way, as a former pitcher, Wayno, he kind of stuck his elbow out there, just a poquito, a little bit.
Yeah, un poquito.
Here's Johan Rojas taking ball 1. Sosa 7 of 8 stealing bases this year, just to keep an eye on his speed. Here is Rojas, who is very fast. He'll take a strike.
One of the things about throwing crossfire like this is what you really have to manage is throwing the ball to Sean Manaea's glove side, which is into a righty. We've already seen him hit 2. You really have to force it in there so you put more torque on your body, and it's harder control in there, whereas throwing it to his arm side, which would be away to a righty, is much more natural. So that's why he throws the crossfire bullpen, to really accentuate getting out front and finishing it into a right-handed hitter.
In at third, Vientos, the 1-1. Waved on and missed.
It's a good drill, even if you're not trying to, work on crossfire, and to maybe just get your catcher set up in the other batter's box, work on, like you said, getting way out front on top of the ball. But that hurts my back watching him do this.
Manaea, that 2-seamer with all that run, he only threw 16 of them all of last year. Now that's almost half his arsenal. And the sweeper was the pitch used to turn his season around midway through last year with the Giants. Those are his 2 most used pitches. 2-2 pitch is waved on and mixed.
You see that fastball just stays on plane, and then it just rides away from you. You think you're right on the barrel. It just keeps going. Just takes off up and away.
Back to the top, and Schwarber. 1 on and 1 out for Philadelphia in the third. And strike 1. To one of the most prolific home run hitters in Major League playoff history. That means you have to be in the playoffs a lot, and he has been. Almost 70 playoff games in his career. 21 playoff home runs for Schwarber. The next one he hits will tie Bernie Williams for third all time. Right now it's 0-2 from Manaea.
That is just such a tough angle. It is such a tough angle the way he throws, and then he throws that sweeper off of it. It starts completely behind Schwarber.
Setting up way outside is Alvarez. And it's high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Schwarber. 0 for his last 9 in the series now, after he had the home run on the 3rd pitch that he saw against Senga. Had a single in his next at bat, now trying to get back on base. Here's the reset throw over to first. So with that crossfire action from Minaya, this is how the Phillies prepared for it during batting practice.
They tried to simulate the angle. Look how far over that ball is. Normally the BP thrower throws directly over the plate. They tried to simulate, and I guarantee you that machine emulates his spin. They tried to replicate the angle and the height, and then they used the machine to simulate this exact spin on Sean Manaya's breaking pitches.
2-2 pitch, and Schwarber punches it foul to stay alive.
And at the end of the day, AJ, there's nothing like seeing the real thing. You know, you can get up there against that machine, but until you see it in person, it's always going to be different. I wouldn't be surprised if Schwarber lays down a bunt later in this game, because it is so funky and where they're playing him at third base. Might be a good play for him later on.
Another 2-2. Back-to-back strikeouts on the fastball. He got Rojas and Schwarber swinging.
I mean, that's outside the batter's box.
Man, that is way out there, right?
It is so tough. As a former left-handed hitter, you just don't see it.
First pitch swinging. Trey Turner loops it into left field. That's down for a base hit. And he extends the frame to Bryce Harper. And now 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd, and a big spot early in game 3.
We asked Rob Thompson, their manager, I did earlier today, I said, who's more important, Nick Castellanos hitting behind Harper or Trey Turner hitting in front of him getting on base? He said Trey Turner getting on base because of now he can't run because Sosa's in front of him, but that makes him think a little bit more about pitching around Bryce. We saw it in game 2. Turner walk, Harper walk, Castellanos walk-off single. What will they do here?
And Harper was looking for a game-changing swing. 0-1. Harper fouls it away, and it's 0-2. Back to Minaya. And he gets out of the inning. We're 2.5 through. It's real and spot. Already at Citi Field for game 3. Pete Alonso's solo home run in the bottom of the 2nd, the lone run thus far. Nola to Alvarez in the 9th spot for New York. And he swings at the first pitch. Drills it out towards the wall and left. Played well by Hayes, and that's why Alvarez has to throw on the brakes. That was rocketed so hard and played very well by Hayes. 108 miles an hour right off the fence.
He ran out of the box, too. It wasn't like he stood there and watched it. Alvarez, as a former catcher, you got to go, because we aren't known for our speed, but he goes right away. He knows. This ball misses a home run by about 5 or 6 feet. Nice job by Austin Hayes coming up, throwing a strike to second base, and Alvarez has to shut it down.
Second time through the order, here's Lindor. And he takes a nice breaking ball strike.
I wonder, as a catcher, he probably went up there knowing that Nola had to start throwing backwards a little bit. He had to start leading them off with some breaking balls. I wonder if he went up there and sat on that the first pitch.
Timeout.
They look awfully comfortable in the box. He may have to get one up underneath the hands on some of these guys, move some feet. Anytime you start seeing hitters leaning out over the plate, taking great swings, you got to back them off of there a little bit.
Veteran Nola against the veteran Lindor. An 0-2. And this time it's high.
That's the one he wanted. That's the one he wanted. That's the one he got Nimmo on. After breaking balls, he tried it right there to Francisco Lindor a little bit high. You mentioned Alvarez, though, first pitch. I don't love the pitch selection. Cutter, not curveball. Cutter's not a great pitch, especially to a guy like Alvarez.
A 1-2. Lindor with that long fly out to the 380 mark in right center field back in the first. The ball is jumping off bats today. We've seen a lot of missiles already in this contest. Including Alvarez's single, which has the leadoff man on for New York in the third. A 2-2 pitch to Lindor from Nola. Is a breaking ball hit to center. Rojas frozen, now comes in. He's got it for out number one. Nola, the number 7 pick in 2014 out of LSU, debuted in July of 2015, All-Star in 2018, and has not missed a start for the Phillies in the last 7 years. He has usually been the number 2 punch behind Zach Wheeler in the playoff rotation. He's taken the ball for game 2 in a series 4 times. But this time, Rob Thompson opted him for game 3. First pitch fouled by Vientos. And Christopher Sanchez go in game 2 to keep him at home and then allow Nola to go on the road. A veteran of nearly 270 starts. The 31-year-old deals. And Vientos takes a breaking ball out to left. Hayes is there. Underneath for the second out. Back to first base goes Francisco Alvarez. It got a little contentious the other night between the Dodgers and the Padres as San Diego came back to even the series. Kerry Carpenter's big blast for Detroit tied that series up. We'll have Phillies and Mets game 4 on FS1 coming up tomorrow, and then Yankees Royals on TBS after Kansas City has the big 4-run frame with Sal Perez leading the charge to even up that contest going back to Kauffman. There's Brandon Nimmo with 2 down. And he pops up the first pitch. The aggressiveness from the Mets hitters continues. And Harper's got it to close out the frame. Nola works around the leadoff single. We've played 3 in game 3. 1-0 Mets.
The Mets have a 1-0 lead on a Pete Alonso home run. 4 opposite field home runs during the season. 3 in the last 4 games. What are you seeing from Pete at the plate?
Yeah, it's not easy to do, especially with the way he's going the other way, like you said, with ease. I mean, I think that ball landed in the second deck. And on a night where it seems like the ball's not traveling as much, as soon as he hit it, we knew the ball was gone. So locked in, special for him, first at bat, back here in Citi Field, and he's just got to keep going.
Sean Manaea back on the mound here. 71% strikes for the first 3 innings. Tell me what you see of his command and his stuff.
Yeah, I like how he's attacking the hitters. This is an aggressive lineup. They are going to attack him, and he came back away from it. So he's got to continue to make pitches. He's got to continue to trust his stuff, especially the fastball, and then start mixing because they're going to be aggressive.
Thanks so much, Carlos.
Yeah, you got it.
Castellanos waving at the first 2. A foul and a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Castellanos.
Castellanos, did you see how he got that early leg kick right there? Every now and then he does that on you, and you know he's swinging as a pitcher, and you're like, oh, man, I've really got to execute this pitch mid-pitch sometimes. You know he's coming.
Oh, that's all.
Off the outside edge, 1-2 to Castellanos. There's that strike rate at 70%. 1-2. Muscled in on Castellanos, who flexes it foul. Bouncing back is Castellanos. He had a dreadful league championship series against Arizona, but he was on fire against Atlanta in the division series, and he's been key in the first couple games, in particular in game 2.
It's amazing as a hitter. And I'm guessing a pitcher's the same. He was great in the DS and then awful next series. Same guy. Why? Why does it happen? As a hitter, you're like, oh, I'm rolling. We're in the playoffs. I'm feeling good. And you take like a day off, and then you feel like you've never hit before.
Happens fast, AJ.
Two delivery. In the air to right. Marte circles back to it for the first down.
These two guys, Castellanos and Bohm, I came into this game plan these guys. I thought that they were the two guys metrically that had the best chance to hit Minaya today. They have the best numbers on fastballs up. But you know what? Sometimes with the guys, this is a different fastball up. You know, it's not like everybody else's. So maybe it doesn't matter, but those are the two guys that metrically it makes sense.
And Bohm goes after the first pitch, trying to get on base, and he'll do it. Bangs off the wall. He's gunning for 2. The throw from center. He is off the bag, and the tag is applied. Lindor the tag, and one of the best arms in the outfield can still get it done at 35 years old. Starling Marte and Tyrone Taylor. They've got solid arms out there.
Great tag by Francisco Lindor, but this play by Taylor, bare hand, dodging his teammate, firing it on one hop, right to Lindor, and Bohm might need a haircut because that ball got tagged on his helmet.
Real Muto takes a ball. Nimmo's solid, Marte's great, and Tyrone Taylor has his 4th outfield assist now with a solid arm out in center.
Oh, that's down.
If you look how he fields this ball, you can tell he really gets his body in a position to come up throwing fast. He knows he's got to come out and make a great throw right away. Watch this play right here. Watch what he does to get himself ready. You see how he sets his feet. He goes ahead and starts turning those hips and bare hands it. Never lets the ball touch his glove. He did everything perfect, AJ, to make that happen.
Don't ever forget that big leaguers are really good at baseball, and it's really hard to hit a baseball, and then you hit one like Alec Bohm, and you think, man, easy double, and then this happens to you. And Tyrone Taylor is feeling it in center field.
And the frustrations for Bohm continue as he is now 2 for his last 35. 2-2 to Real Muto is fouled. Tyrone Taylor out there for that defense is so key because David Stearns knew him from Milwaukee. He was a draft pick in Milwaukee, a 2nd-round pick, but didn't really have a spot with all the young talent coming up for the Milwaukee Brewers in their outfield. Guys like Blake Perkins and Sal Frelick. So David Stearns makes a move to bring in Tyrone Taylor. Same thing with Adrian Hauser, a guy who was eventually let go. But he brought those guys in from Milwaukee, and Taylor has stuck. He has been a defensive sub late in games, and he's been in center field often this year. And that huge play to get Bohm down.
Tyrone's one of those guys, too, when he's in the backside of the lineup. It's in that back half of the lineup, AJ. Sometimes you're not thinking those guys are power guys, but he's one of those guys that if you just lay something in there, one of the breaking ball, middle in or something, he can posit it.
Now Real Muto right back out to Taylor, whose defense was on display in that 4th inning. The difference in the game so far is a Pete Alonso opposite field shot to lead off the second inning. The late bat flip. The Polar Bear back at Citi Field. He'll lead things off in the home fourth in Game 3 of the National League Division Series on FS1. Alec Bohm thinking, what else do I have to do? He finally gets on base with a hit, but gets thrown out by Taylor's great throw. And now Alonso leads things off in the home fourth against Aaron Nola. He has had a very impressive run in his career against Aaron Nola. He's at over 300 against him with now 6 home runs in 51 at bats. They've seen each other so much these last 6 years.
Bueno, did that home run by Alonso cause Nola to run a little bit from his heater against him?
Well, you know, it's just the pitch that he hit out, he doesn't hit that out. That's not something that he has done all season. That he thought that was a safe zone. And it ended up not. And you can see by taking that pitch right there, he might show you what he's doing. He's looking out over the plate, trying to get his eyes set out away from him so he could get extended.
A 2-1 to Alonso. Oh, back-to-back fastballs. That one clips the bottom of the zone to even the count.
So you go back in there if you're Nola, because he hasn't even flinched at these balls. I mean, he is looking out over the plate. So if you're Nola, you got to go back in there, right?
He skips one in to run the count full.
Yeah, now I think's the time. AJ, stick one in there. Maybe even a four-seamer. One that starts a little bit more towards the corner and just kind of stays there rather than on the plate and works to the corner.
See if he goes back to that great fastball. A 3-2 pitch. Got him at the bottom of the zone. Alonso never took the bat off his shoulder, and he goes down looking on the 4th Nola strikeout.
And that was what we said. That was the four-seamer in right there. Had his eyes pointed out over the plate. Just painted it at the knees, inner third.
Hitters will show you what they're looking for. Hitters will show you what the way they stand, the way they take, and what they do. And from that at bat, you can tell Pete Alonso was looking for something over the plate. Like most of these Mets hitters are. If you watch, when Aaron Nola's had success, he's thrown the ball in, running in on him. That's how he's gotten easy outs. When he's made mistakes out over the plate, that's when the Mets have hit him hard.
Pitch to Iglesias.
Well, that's all.
Did you see JT talk to him right there? JT said, hey, get it out there if we throw this slider. They're leaning out over. Make sure you execute.
Well, that's all.
And going into this inning, you could go this 2 different ways. You know they're swinging early. You know they're aggressive to your fastball. They're pretty much swinging at every first pitch almost coming into this inning. So you can either use that against him and work outside the plate more, or you can crowd him in. And he, so far this inning, is crowding him in.
2-1 to Iglesias. Right back to Nola, who snares it for out number 2.
That's a great way to get him off your stuff away right there, isn't it, AJ?
Just keep pounding them in. And they haven't had good swings. Even that ball, yes, it was a line drive, but this ball jams Iglesias. And that shattered his bat, and the exit velo couldn't have been very high. And Nola just grabs that easy. It's like playing catch.
Yeah, that's sometimes a tough play because you think it's coming harder. I think he knew he jammed him pretty good, so maybe made that play. But sometimes it ends up being a changeup, and you close your glove too soon.
All that's all.
Winker takes the first pitch for ball 1. He cracked the fly ball out to the wall in right field that Castellanos made a great catch on. Would have been a home run at Citizens Bank Park and 5 other stadiums, including 2 that Winker played in when he was a member of the Mariners and the Reds. Ball 2-0. Traded from Washington in July. He was heavily involved in some key moments during the wild card series. And that 2-run triple in game 1 against Milwaukee. That's his only hit of the playoffs so far. There's a strike. Nola, a free agent after last year. He signed a 7-year extension through 2030. He knows this park very well as a longtime Philly now. This time Winker cranks it. It's a no-doubt shot. Upper deck, 2-0. Marte shows bunt, pulls back for a strike, and boy, Jesse Winker enjoyed that moment. A ball and a strike.
We talked about what a hitter's eyes. Watch his take right here. Oh, he's bailing out. He wants to hit that fastball up and in. He's bailing out, and then he gets another chance at that fastball, and he doesn't miss it. You got to see that hitter's reaction. Go slow there, change up, breaking ball, get him off that heater, right?
You got to do exactly what Aaron Nola didn't do and get that ball down. Because that ball, I mean, Jesse Winker watched that ball.
He watched it.
He waited until it landed before he ran.
I thought maybe he thought it was going foul.
No.
He knew that was not going foul.
1-2 to Marte. Here's 2-2.
But I didn't love the pitch selection, like you said. The first pitch was almost the ball up, middle in. You saw him open up, ready to go, right? Then he gets a cutter for a ball. Then he gets the called strike on the sinker. I would have liked to have seen him run one down and away. Unfortunately, tried to go up again. 2-0 Mets.
Marte goes around, and that'll retire the side. The ball's been jumping off the bat for both sides. Winker missed an extra base hit because of Castellanos in the second, but he milked the moment and enjoyed his work. A pair of solo shots from Alonso and Winker. Mets lead it 2-0 through 4 in Game 3. Lead on a frustrated Aaron Nola, shaking his head and slamming the glove. And the man who embraces the villain role for the Mets has gotten booed in so many visiting ballparks this year that Carlos Mendoza boos Jesse Winker when he walks by him in the clubhouse. He tells Jesse they only boo the good players. Winker comes up with a big-time blast off of Nola. It's 2-0. Austin Hayes takes a strike from Sean Manaea. And it's 0-2. Phillies trying to get going in the early innings. The Mets have been very good keeping the Phillies down for the most part in the early frames of the first couple of games of this set. Manaea working with a 2-run lead. Gets Hayes swinging on a changeup. 1 down here in the 5th. Down to Tom Verducci for more.
Yeah, you saw that wave from Jesse Winker. There's a history there. 5 years ago with the Reds, he hit a big home run off Edwin Diaz and taunted Mets fans here at Citi Field with the wave. Of course, once he arrived here via a trade at the deadline, hit a big home run, a grand slam against the Red Sox in September. That wave is back. Now a salute, which was once a taunt.
My, oh my. How fans change their perspectives when you put on their uniform.
AJ, why would you know about that? Is there some kind of personal experience that you could share with us as Sosa goes waving at that 1-2?
Yes. My manager also used to boo me when I walked by him. So I know the feeling, and it's a good feeling.
Your own manager.
Oh, my gosh. So you're saying that Jesse Winker is this generation's A.J. Brzezinski. That's what you're saying.
I did not say that. I don't wish that on anybody.
0-2 on Sosa. Manaea home. Back-to-back change-up strikeouts for Manaea. There's 2 down.
You see him working the outside corner now. He's been pounding the fastball in, bounding it up, and so then all that does is open up down and away, wide open for that changeup. Well executed.
Bouncing ball to second. Iglesias. And it's a 1-2-3, 7 pitch. Manaea inning. Biggest home game in 9 years since the 2015 World Series. Tyrone Taylor has had a great defensive play in this game, an outfield assist to cut down Alec Bohm. He'll take a strike as we start the second half of this game 3, bottom of the 5th, 2-0 New York. Taylor just 2 for 17 at the plate during the postseason. Nice curveball from Nola, who was tied for first in the National League. He gave up 30 home runs. He's a strike thrower who's going to be around the plate, and those two have taken a couple of pitches deep. Alonso and Winker in the 2nd and 4th.
You know what they're talking about? No, I pimped it better. No, you pimped it better. No, I did.
Another breaking ball fought off.
Pretty sure Winker wins that one.
Yeah, but Pete had the better bat flip when he threw it all the way up in the sky.
That's great. I forgot about that part.
.30 home runs and 33 starts this year for Nola. But he gets the strikeout here on a changeup. He had 197 strikeouts in just about 200 innings this season. 1 away.
That's the pitch I've been waiting for him to use today. Because if they're going to be sitting on something that's firm and straight, you throw the pitch that looks like it's firm and straight with the same arm speed. He's always had such masterful control of this changeup. Just looks like a fastball. You pull the trigger. Oh, it just disappeared. Great execution.
There's the 9-hitter Alvarez. Strike 1. As a catcher, he's looking back at the home plate umpire, Doug Eddings. Sure, he'll want that call when he's behind the plate. Real Muto, good framer, good presenter. Ball and a strike on Alvarez.
You know what he said to him? He looked at the umpire and goes, "That's not a strike." And JT looks at him and goes, "It was a strike." And that's why you saw Alvarez just look and laugh. JT basically was like, "You know it was a strike."
Caught a whole lot of those, kid. That was a strike.
A 1-1 pitch is fouled back. It's 1-2. 33-year-old JT Real Muto, 22-year-old Francisco Alvarez. Both tasked with the same job.
Watch his reaction right there. He takes that big swing. He fouls it back, and he wants the pitcher, he wants Nola to think that he's right on it. But he's actually very, very late. Sitting slow, but he tried to sell the follow through. See if Nola noticed that and comes back hard here.
With a 1-2 pitch and a fastball outside. Alvarez has a home run off Nola this year. 2 for 3 against him so far, and now it is a pitch clock violation against Aaron Nola, so that's going to run the count full to 3-2.
Looks like Nola was waiting for the fastball away, and that was the last thing on JT's mind.
He did not start that windup when the clock hit past 0. Payoff pitch. Got him anyway. Couple of close pitches, and Nola is able to retire his 3rd consecutive Met since the Winker home run via the strikeout.
And that's when it's your idea as the pitcher and you shook to it all the time. And you execute it perfectly, and especially if you freeze them, that's when you turn around and you're thinking in your head, "That's right, JT. I had the right idea." When it doesn't work, you don't look at your catcher.
Back to the top, 3rd time through, it's Lindor. He has hit the ball hard, but flown out and lined out to center field. No groundouts from Nola. All strikeouts and flyouts thus far, plus the 2 homers. A 1-0. 2-0. This ballpark opened in 2009, taking over for Shea Stadium, the venerable ballpark. There are still portions and pieces of Shea Stadium that they brought along to help build Citi Field. It's been around now for a decade and a half. Matches the sky, I guess, that color.
You want to get on TV at Citi Field? Wear a Grimace costume. We'll never know who
You'll never know who you are, but you made it somehow. You can just believe.
You tell your family, that was me, I promise.
And they're like, are you sure you want to admit that to us right now? That's fine. Cool. 2-2 on Lindor.
Nola can start using their aggressiveness against him now. They know he's going to be in the strike zone. He can keep chasing him out of the zone with that breaking ball.
2-2 pitch. Fastball blown by him. He strikes out the side. Taylor, Alvarez, and Lindor. He has fanned 8 through 5, but it's the Mets on top with the top of the Philadelphia order coming up. And it's the top of the Phillies order. Kyle Schwarber leads things off against Sean Manaea. And goes after the first pitch. A first pitch changeup that time, and he gets a swing and a miss. Schwarber is still responsible for the only Philadelphia run in this series scored in the first 5 innings. And that was in the bottom of the first of game 1. He's down 0-2. One and 2.
This is an inning they got to do something. Top of the order up. I know Schwarber's left on left, but he's got to figure out a way to get on base. Bryce Harper's 2 hitters away. They need a jump start here if you're the Phillies.
Something to watch right here. Manaea's only got 67 pitches.
Yep. Both starters have been very efficient.
He's been working very fast, very efficient. Phillies at least need to start putting some pitches on him.
A 2-2 pitch from Manaea. Schwarber takes ball 3. So from 0-2 to a full count.
Schwarber's so good at that, man. He just doesn't, you know, you might can get him to chase a slider off, but he just doesn't go off on fastballs very often.
And he works a walk after being down 0-2 in the count. So Turner will come up as the tying run. Sean Manaea, his outing so far.
Yeah, and you want to know why we keep talking about this crossfire thing? It's a big deal. You can see the uncomfortable at bats, and look, he swung at a pitch that hit him in the foot. Then he works that great changeup off of it. He's used the fastball up. He's used the big sweeper, and the changeup's got 2 strikeouts. He's been a complete pitcher today.
Turner showing bunt, snap throw behind Schwarber. He's back in safe as Alvarez tried to catch him napping.
Leadoff walks are the worst thing you can have right here. You got to make Schwarber swing the bat. Now he's on base. Now little havoc can ensue. Manaea's got to worry about, not that Schwarber's a huge base stealer, something else to think about, and the next 3 guys in the lineup can tie this game with 1 swing.
1-1 on Turner. In the playoffs in particular, when every pitch is magnified, the domino effect comes so quickly, especially these last couple of years with the pitch clock. Way inside on Turner, 2-1.
And I'm surprised, I know he only has 71 pitches, but I'm surprised there's not a little bit of stirring down there in the Mets bullpen.
He starts getting behind, then they will.
I think your feelings are right here, guys. The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Just peeked over there now. And there is some motioning out there. And
there you
we
go.
do see Reed Garrett right on cue. Through 2 innings for the win in game 1. 3-1 to Turner. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start the 6th inning. And now it's Bryce Harper. And here comes Jeremy Hefner to settle Sean Manaea down. While we have a moment, a quick word from Evan Williams Bourbon.
Reach for a fan favorite, Evan Williams 1783 Small Batch. When bourbon's done right, people notice.
Could this be his last hitter? With Garrett up and then a slew of righties coming after this. Manaea went from complete control to Bryce Harper might be his last hitter. That's how quickly you talked about it, Adam, how quickly it can happen in the playoffs. He was cruise control.
Couple things to consider here. The pitch clock has changed this situation because in years past, you know, your catcher would say, step off, slow it down, slow the game down. Now you can't slow the game down. And also sometimes third time through, you think, I got to change something up. I got to start using more of this or using more of this. And until the hitter tells you that, you really don't.
Manaea against Harper. Schwarber at second, Turner at first in the 6th. And he was looking to flip the game with one swing. 0-1 as Manaea went right back to a first pitch changeup.
I love that pitch selection from Alvarez and Manaea. Harper's in the moment. He wants to do damage. Changeup out of the hand looks just like a fastball. He's expecting a fastball or a sweeper. Instead, you get the changeup.
0-1. 0-2 on a sweeper. Oh, 2. Got him. Big time delivery from Manaea for a huge first out in the 6th inning.
Love the first pitch, Wayno. Change up. Everyone's excited. He thinks it's a heater. And then he just goes sweeper away and then sweeper a little bit farther away. The best part of this, we keep talking about crossfire. The ball starts behind Bryce Harper and breaks about 4 feet off the plate away. What a sequence.
Castellanos fouls it away.
But now, the guy we've been saying for 3 games now has to come up huge. Castellanos. Here's his chance. Lefty, big situation. Gonna probably get something good to hit. Can he take advantage of it?
Here's an 0-1. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Reaches out to second, caught by Iglesias, double play, inning over. Two on, nobody out. He gets Harper to strike out and Castellanos to Iglesias to Lindor to the bottom of the 6th, and the Mets lead it 2-0 in Game 3 on FS1. Manaea wiggles his way out of that top of the 6th inning jam, and now Vientos, Nimmo, and Alonso against Aaron Nola in a 2-0 tightly played Game 3. Strike 1 to Vientos.
Huge inning right here for the Phillies. There's so many times you see it, not only in the playoffs, but in baseball. You have your shot to score, you don't score. It just throws momentum to the other team. Aaron Nola has to go out and shut the Mets down. We talk about shutdown innings after you score. Sometimes they're more important when you don't score.
And it's a big part of the Mets order. A lot of power between Vientos, Nimmo, and Alonso.
Oh, that's in.
How about Manaea getting out of that last frame? Pumped up. Carlos Mendoza said he's a sneaky leader, but he was showing a lot of emotion right there, letting it all out. There's a strike, 1-2 on Vientos.
Do we think he's done, or think they're going to try and run him back out there? Because, as you know, Wayno, when you're a starting pitcher and you adrenaline dump, right? You emotion dump after that inning. Can he get it back up and give him one more? Only 80 pitches.
Yeah, he needs one more. It makes that bullpen so much better.
Oh, that's off.
You go hitter by hitter then if you're...
You could go hitter by hitter for sure.
is they have a huge pocket of righties coming up. Now, as soon as we go into those, as soon as he brings in Reed Garrett or another righty, the Phillies are going to go to their bench and start using Clement, Stott, Marsh, all those guys. So this is the cat and mouse.
3-2 on Vientos.
Last inning, Nola had the best fastball command he had all day. This inning, he come out, he's already missed 3 times with the fastball.
Nimmo waits on deck after a 3-2 pitch to Vientos. He reaches out and pokes it down the line, foul.
This would traditionally be when Nola would drop that curveball in, down and away after the fastball, but he's still a little late on that heater.
Another payoff pitch. Breaking ball is tapped foul by Vientos.
That's his pitch. He goes to that one. That's his command pitch when he needs it behind the fastball. All right, catcher, what are you doing here?
I'm trying to throw that sinker down and in that he threw to Pete Alonso if I can. Either the four-seamer or the sinker in. It looks, every one of these Mets hitters with 2 strikes look like they've sat breaking ball.
Into left field, and Mark Vientos gets aboard to start the 6th. On an 8-pitch battle, Vientos has yet another base hit. 107-mile-an-hour crack into left field. That'll bring up Brandon Nimmo. And now the Mets. You guys talked about how big it was for the Phillies to try to get the shutdown inning. How big is it for New York with this part of the order to try to tack on some runs?
This is the momentum inning for the game right here because of getting out of it. Manaea showing the emotional dump, and now the Mets the heart of their order.
In at third is Bohm. Pitch to Nimmo. Couple of former first-round draft picks. Aaron Nola and Brandon Nimmo. A 1-0. A strike.
Perfect pitch right there to Nimmo inside. Nimmo loves to get extended, wants to swing, loves the ball kind of down out over the plate. He's going to give you that pitch. If you can locate that 3 times in a row, he's going to give it to you.
The 1-1. 1-2. Brandon Nimmo signed his extension. Former first-round pick. A key piece over these years. Now 31 years of age in his second postseason. Had a phenomenal year. 23 home run season to back up his 24 homer campaign. Double-barreled action now with Kerkering and Strom. Everybody's ready for both bullpens after the off day on Monday.
Went with the fastball in, change up, down and away. Going to try to stick the fastball up and in again here if I had to guess.
On a 1-2, it's fouled back. There was a fastball. '11 first-round pick for New York. Meanwhile, for Aaron Nola, Philadelphia's Iron Man, number 7 pick in 2014. 1 on, nobody out in the 6th. 2-0 New York in Game 3. And a 1-2. Is a breaking ball down and away.
He's just been a little bit off, right, Wayno? Just some of the locations have just been a little bit off for Nolan. He hasn't pitched poorly at all. He's given up 2 solo home runs. But like that pitch, you see a little frustration on his face, saying, I meant to bounce that more in the middle and I missed away.
2-2.
Ball that ball.
3-2.
Yeah, that's the one you're thinking right there. 1-2. I like this exactly what you thought. The thought of that, starting right down the middle, breaking it right behind the plate, right in the middle. And that one he tried to stick backdoor, missed with both of them. But I actually think he's been pretty good today, you know, just the 2 home runs.
Payoff pitch to Nimmo is high for ball 4. And there are 2 aboard for Pete Alonso. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. A home run back in the second inning for Pete Alonso on a pitch that, Wayno, you said he doesn't really get a hold of, at least hasn't this year. Look where that pitch is, out and away, almost out of the zone.
We see Pete Alonso go on the outside corner. We see him go thigh highway. You don't see Pete go up and away like that, especially not upper deck to the opposite field. Absolutely impressive.
Well, we've talked about it all series, going back to the end of the regular season and in the wild card series. The opposite field power has started to come back for Alonso, and now he's aboard, or he's at the plate with 2 aboard and nobody out. Tom Verducci is down to the field. You can add, Tom.
Yeah, there was a long discussion in the Philadelphia dugout between Caleb Coughlin, the pitching coach, and Rob Thompson, the manager, about whether you want Nola, whose command seems to be slipping, to face Alonso again. And don't forget, besides the home run, their battles go back to 2014 when Pete was a freshman at Florida. Nola was a junior at LSU, 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Year. Nola struck him out 3 times in March of 2014. But in the big leagues, Pete Alonso slugs over 700 against Aaron Nola.
For the 53rd time in the major leagues, they meet. Nola to Alonso with 2 aboard. Strike 1.
That's what he's got to do, AJ.
Pete wants no part of that pitch. He punched out last time.
He's got to make the bat shorter right here and crowd him way in, and then he can bounce that curveball away.
Whoa.
I like it.
Now, the only thing, when you throw one off the plate way far in like that, then when you come back to the corner, it almost looks like it's down the middle.
A 1-1.
Ball that's down.
That's one he wanted right there, but it was low. 2 balls and a strike.
Pete is not going to swing at that pitch. He has no intention. He told him last time, if you can throw 3 there and punch me out, you can do it. He did it.
Yeah.
He's basically saying again, if you can throw 3 down and in, I'm not going to swing.
9 straight pitches from Nola that Alonso has just looked at since the home run swing. Until now, and he goes after the curve, 2-2.
That tells you right there, he's got his eyes pointed out away from him. You cannot leave anything up out over the plate right there. You either got to come back hard or you got to bounce it again.
A Vientos single, a Nimmo walk.
Because Pete saw the ball out of his hand away.
Yes.
That's why he had the awkward swing. Anything in, he has not even offered at. Anything away, he is go.
The 2 old SEC rivals on a 2-2 pitch. Check swing, did not go, 3-2.
Now what?
No, now I think you throw that fastball in again, AJ, because he almost went out there. I mean, you could try to stick a fastball down away, but I've seen him. He never gets his eyes off of out there.
The 3-2 pitch to Alonso is outside for ball 4, and they are loaded for Iglesias. And here comes Rob Thompson. Iglesias will come up, hoping to bust the game open. A key moment here in the bottom of the 6th in Game 3. This was the final pitch he threw.
Yeah, I think you could tell right there, Pete's upper body gives it away. He's looking out over the plate. His first movement was out over the plate. If that had been on the corner, he would have had a great swing at it.
Jose Iglesias takes a strike. Bases loaded. Orion Kerkering is on. Kerkering on for each of the first 3 games of this series, but he comes into a bases loaded spot. Vientos, Nimmo, and Alonso are aboard. The infield's in. Iglesias muscles it towards second. Sosa bobbles it, throws home. Force out is there. He gets the out. And it's still 2-0 and a recovery by Sosa, who stayed calm that time.
He did. He came back, man. He kept his emotions under check here. Didn't try to rush. You can You can totally panic right here, but he made a good job of getting he knew he had time. He got a good grip on the ball and spun it through a good strike. Right here, when you miss this first time, you can panic and spin around real quick, can't find the ball, don't grab it real good. He did a great job of slowing the game down there.
Infield still in. Now here's Winker. This is what the Phillies bullpen has done in this series. The Mets have been able to get to some really good bullpens. There's a strike to Winker. They got after Raisel Iglesias in the Atlanta Braves. They got after Devin Williams in Milwaukee. And they've been able to get after the top Philadelphia bullpen arms in this series so far. A 1-1. Winker flies it out towards left. Hayes is over. Coming in, makes the catch. Off from third, Nimmo. Now he's going to scramble back to the bag. And that prevents another run from coming in. Still 2-0 and now 2 away.
Well, that first out was absolutely enormous. But then to get this second out right now, this is the key to the game for the Philadelphia Phillies. Not saying anything that's not overly obvious there. If they could sneak out of this with a 0, they're going to come up to bat fired up.
And now Marte. Infield's back now. That one came inside on Starling Marte at 96. The momentum swinging back and forth in this game after Manaea got out of the top of the 6th. Can Kerkering do the same for the Phillies? Marte hits it into center field. That gets down. Nimmo scores. Here comes Alonso. Marte delivers. It's 4-0 Mets.
So many times you see it, Wayno. You get the first 2 outs in a huge situation. It's with 2 outs. You almost take a deep breath and say, oh, I'm out of it. And then you make a mistake and the guy gets the hit to just break your heart with 2 outs.
Great job by Marte. Not trying to do too much right there on a ball that's down away from him. Just stayed up the middle. That's where all the hits are on this big field.
Iglesias still in scoring position. And Kerkering trying to limit the damage. Tyrone Taylor's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He'll take strike 1. Charge both of those runs to Aaron Nola. Those costly walks to Nimmo and Alonso. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Kerkering had to come in, got the first out, got the second out, but Marte comes through with 2 down. And that's been one of the stories of the Mets during these last 2 weeks. 2 strike hits, 2 out hits, hits against bullpens across their schedule. And they've got a 4-0 lead here at home in Game 3. On the ground to the left side for Bohm. He'll take the out at second to close it out, but the Mets push Nola out of the game. And Starling Marte, 35 years of age, one of the veteran presences in the New York Met clubhouse on this wild ride, comes through again. Through 6 innings in Game 3, it's New York 4, Philadelphia nothing, with this series tied in a game apiece. First pitch swinging, Alec Bohm. Vientos is there. And 1 down in the 7th as Sean Manaea has thrown just 81 pitches. If there was any doubt as to whether Manaea would come out for the 7th inning, I think those 2 runs from the Mets probably changed any doubt that Carlos Mendoza had. And now a cushion for Manaea to try to get through 7 innings in this swing game of this series.
It made his decision so much easier. If it was a 2-run lead, there'd be a lot of talk about when do we get the bullpen in, but with a 4-run lead, you got a little more leeway to play with.
Strike to JT Realmuto.
I mean, look, he's given up 2 hits. What are we even talking about? Taking him out. What are we doing, AJ?
It's the way of the game now. It's the way. This is the way, Wayno.
Doesn't make it right.
Bouncing ball left side for Lindor. 2 down. I'm going to read Adam and AJ's favorite promo here. Sunday, it's an NFL doubleheader on Fox as Kyler Murray leads the Cardinals against the Packers. Other regional action, I'll be down in New Orleans for Bucks and Saints. Jared Goff and the Lions against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. America's Game of the Week is a huge one this week as we dive into Week 6. Check your local listings for the game in your area. 2 down in the 7th. Base is empty for Austin Hayes. He'll take a strike. Sean Manaea with a 4-run cushion, an efficient night. And right now, trying to finish off a brilliant start in Game 3. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Still 0-2 on Hayes, who's in there because of the left-handed pitcher. He had a massive year when he was healthy against lefties, a 940 OPS against left-handers. Traded from Baltimore near the deadline, but dealt with a ton of injuries. Trying to keep the Phillies going in the 7th. Manaea trying to finish it off with an 0-2 pitch. Presented by Booking.com. The 6th inning was the momentum shifting inning in this crucial swing game. The series tied at 1 apiece. A couple of solo home runs against Aaron Nola by his old nemesis Pete Alonso, and then by a new nemesis for just about any team that's not the New York Mets, Jesse Winker. The admiration after a 2-0 lead. Sean Manaea was able to get out of a 6th inning jam with 2 on and nobody out. He struck out Harper and got a double play from Castellanos, and then 2 runs across in the 6th inning for New York for some insurance. Manaea finishing off 7 sparkling 2-hit shutout innings, and now stretch time in Game 3. Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, AJ Brzezinski, Tom Verducci, Ed Speed, our excellent Fox Sports crew. And guys, it felt like the momentum shifts in and out depending on where you are in this game. The 6th inning felt like it was the big swing.
It was, and Sean Manaea got through it all. That's the story of the game. Sean Manaea, 7 innings, 2 hits, 6 punchies. Really never been in trouble. The one time he got into trouble, Jeremy Hefner has a mound visit. Boom, right out.
You stole my thunder right there on the Jeremy Hefner call. That's what I was going with. But I'll tell you what, he's only got 87 pitches. Why are we talking about him like he's out of the game? Let's go at least batter to batter. He's in the bottom half of this order. I'd let him in. I'd let him stay in there.
He looks like he's staying in.
I'd let him stay in there.
Again, that 2-run 6th inning probably makes the thought process a little easier for Carlos Mendoza. Jose Alvarado has not pitched since the intra-squad scrimmage last week while Philadelphia was awaiting their division series opponent. Rob Thompson wanted to make sure he got him in. He does here in the bottom of the 7th, facing Alvarez, Lindor, and Vientos. It's a strike to Alvarez to begin the frame from the lefty Alvarado.
This is a guy, if the Phillies win this series and continue to go, they've got to figure this guy out. 100 with sink.
Foul back. There was that sinker at 98 miles an hour. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. Sinker, cutter. It's all fastballs at a couple of different velocities. Alvarado began the season as the Philadelphia closer. They've had multiple pitchers take over that mantle over the course of the year before they traded for Carlos Estevez. Way inside at 95 on the cutter.
I mean, it's like a slider too. It's got some pretty good depth to it. I'd love to see Alvarado develop some kind of changeup or a split that would pair off with that sinker really well.
He's only thrown 3 curveballs all year. That's the only other pitch that Alvarado threw all season long. '29-year-old from Venezuela. Alvarez takes one down low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to his fellow countrymen.
The stuff has never been a question for Alvarado. It's just throwing it over the plate. When he throws it over the plate, nobody really hits him. can he throw it consistently over the plate?
A 2-2 pitch. Waved on and missed. Wow. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, the hardest pitch thrown by anybody in this series, leads to a strikeout in the 7th.
The first pitch of the at-bat, Alvarez swung and fouled it off, and same thing he did earlier. He wanted the pitcher to believe that he was right on it, but Alvarado did not fall for it. Came back with the high cheese again. Strike 3.
Back to the top, and Lindor, his 4th trip to the plate. He turns around for the first time to bat right-handed. It's good from both sides of the plate this year. Lindor pops it up. It is Bohm. And he's got it for the 2nd out. Each season, the Hank Aaron Award is given to the best overall offensive performer in each league. You can cast your vote for the 2024 award by scanning the QR code or enter it MLB.com/Aaron. You always have to consider Bryce Harper for any type of offensive award. He's on that list. So is Francisco Lindor, who for a lot of people is the #2 candidate for MVP behind Shohei Ohtani in the National League this year. Here's Vientos taking a ball at 101.
And what he does in the field too is just, you know, it's one of those guys you start your team after this guy,
sure,
right? He might be your first overall pick for what he does in the field also.
He was Steve Cohen's first pick. Steve Cohen took over as the owner in late 2020, and that famed dinner, right, when Francisco Lindor and Steve Cohen were together hours before the start of the 2021 season, they signed that long extension. Lindor kind of muddled his way through some stretches over the first 4 years. But that decision to make Lindor the centerpiece of this group, and for Lindor to grow as a leader for the New York Mets, anybody around this organization will tell you that he has took over as the true focal point in that clubhouse. It has paid dividends for Steve Cohen and for Carlos Mendoza in his first year as the manager. There's a lot of trust between those two, Mendoza and Lindor. Vientos in a high leverage count. Back up the middle, off the mound, over towards Bohm, trying to make a tough play. Not in time. What a ricochet. And now they're going to go check on Jose Alvarado and make sure he's all right after all that.
That smoked him in the foot.
Direct hit.
Yeah, he's pointing at it. Real Muto out, making sure Alvarado's okay, and he's just kind of smirking about it. That's a tough dude right there. Oof, man.
Does it get him towards the heel, though? This is important because it gets him on the heel. Nope, that didn't. That was mid-foot.
Man.
Throw a cold steak on that one. That's going to leave a mark.
99.4 off the old foot there. And he's playing it off pretty well here.
Yeah.
You know, usually you pitchers, Wayno, you guys limp around for a couple
what
minutes.
happens is he's got some adrenaline going now. So he'll be good now. But when he goes back to the dugout, if he sits down for a little bit, he'll be limping back to the clubhouse. And don't get in the hot tub tonight. That'll be a problem.
I'm assuming you're saying that to Jose Alvarado, not to the two of us.
Correct.
I just wanted to
Correct.
make sure.
You can get in if you want.
Thanks, buddy. Harrison Bader is checked into the game. So Vientos is done after getting that second knock of the night. Bader dancing at first with Nimmo at the plate. This is the matchup that Thompson wanted Alvarado for. One of those two lefties in the Mets lineup. Nimmo takes ball 1.
Keeps going in it.
Minaya looking as if he may be ready to go for an 8th inning. Ball. Phil Maton is out there.
no.
He went around, according to the third base umpire, Rob Drake, 2-1.
Man, you're right, AJ. If he could harness that sinker at the bottom of the zone, just throw nothing but knee-high strikes, he would be very, very tough.
Not a fun at bat, left-handed or right-handed.
Time used at the plate.
Lefties don't see a lot of lefty sinkers coming into you either, do you?
No, it's just a different animal. It's like left-on-left changeups.
So tough to pick up. A 2-1. Bader goes. Pitches a strike. Throw down to second. Perfect throw. But the tag was unable to be finished because Turner could not hold on. I mean, that throw was at the exact spot I would imagine Turner would want it, with Bader sliding in towards it.
Looked like he had a great jump. Only reason they made this close is because JT threw an absolute dart.
Could not snare it. Look at this throw by Real Muto.
Just on the money.
It just bounced.
Yep.
And Turner missed it because Bader's arm, I think, blocked his glove.
And now it's 3-2 on Brandon Nimmo, and that's a big run. Every run in this series in the late innings feels big. Why? What have we seen in the first two games of this series between both of these teams? Late inning heroics and comebacks, and both of them have done it all year. Payoff pitch.
Ball 4.
Outside, and there are 2 aboard with 2 down, and that's going to extend the inning to Pete Alonso.
Now all of a sudden you got the guy at the plate that can hit the sinker down.
I was going to say, down and out over the plate, that's where Pete Alonso likes it, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Pete Alonso was in a dreadful drought, was slumping before he hit that massive home run against Devin Williams' airbender changeup in Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. He was 5 for 38. He had not hit a home run in 92 days off a changeup. That swing seemingly got him back on track. Alonso takes ball 1.
And the big thing about that is what you said. All of the last 3 home runs have been to right field, which is a good sign if you're a Mets fan.
You heard Tom Verducci say it, 4 during the regular season opposite, 3 in the playoffs opposite. 2 on, 2 out, and a 1-0 from Alvarado. Boy, he is a little frustrated at himself right now as he cannot seemingly find the plate.
Watching Pete, he does that little bat waggle where he kind of points the barrel out, shows you where he wants it kind of. I've seen him do this a whole lot. When he's going good, there's like an aggressiveness to that. You can tell he's locked in by the way he does his little bat waggle in the first part.
So it's 2-0 against Alonso. A quick word from Corona. Alonso ahead in the count against Alvarado with 2 down to the 7th.
Let me just say this, Pete Alonso is a Tampa native, and there's a storm headed the way. So please, everybody, I'm from Florida. I have a lot of friends in the Tampa on the West Coast and all throughout Florida. Please, Pete and I talked about it before. The last one hit, and he had some home problems with his family. So please be safe, everybody, once this storm hits the next couple days.
Hurricane Milton on its way towards the Orlando-Tampa area. 3 balls and no strikes on the Florida man. These fans are hoping this isn't the final series that they see Pete Alonso, one of the most prolific home run hitters in Mets history. Takes ball 4, and the bases are loaded once again for Iglesias, just as they were in the 6th. So Rob Thompson will come out. A frustrating outing for Alvarado in his Division Series debut. Iglesias is coming up. The bases are juiced in the 7th. It's been a big offensive surge for the New York Mets in the postseason, and it's been backed up by some solid pitching. Sean Manaea with 7 two-hit innings without allowing a run, 4 across for New York, and the bases are loaded for Candelita as they sing and chant his song with Bader, Nimmo, and Alonso aboard, and Jose Ruiz into the game, making his second appearance. Gave up the Alonso solo home run in the 6th of game 2. He faces Iglesias here with the bases loaded. Strike 1 to the 34-year-old from Cuba, who's had a wild journey. Former hotshot prospect with the Red Sox, traded to the Tigers, an all-star in 2015, a veteran guy for multiple teams, to languishing in the minor leagues for the last year and a half. And now he delivers a base hit to blow the game open. Bader is in. Here comes Nimmo. It's 6-0 New York. The ball gets away. Alonso coming home. He's going to get tagged out to end the inning. But Jose Iglesias, an OMG type of season and career. And this game is now 6-0. The Mets are in control. Look who it is. Sean Manaea out for the 8th inning, with the number 8 hitter Edmundo Sosa leading things off against him. Phil Maton is behind him in the Mets pen. There are defensive substitutions for New York here. Fouled away, and it's a ball and a strike on Sosa. And Iglesias delivering a pair before Alonso was cut down at home after the misfired throw. Fouled away again, and it's 1-2.
It was everything about that play from the Mets standpoint was great, except for the fact the ball hits the mound, goes over Real Muto's head, hits the brick wall, and bounces right back to him. If it doesn't hit the brick wall and go back to him, Pete Alonso's safe easy. But it hit the brick wall. Jose Iglesias only gets 2 RBIs.
But it extends the New York lead now. A bigger hole for the Phillies. Sosa to Iglesias now at third. Tough throw, and Sosa's able to beat it out. Part of the defensive shift now for New York. This is their typical late inning defense in the postseason. As Iglesias slots over to third base, Acuna will step in. Bader was the pinch runner. He stays in the game in center, and Taylor moves over to right. Weston Wilson was ready to pinch hit. And if this is it for Sean Manaea, this place is going to go nuts. Let's see. That's it. But an excellent performance from the 32-year-old Sean Manaea in his first year with the Mets. It is Phil Maton in. Brandon Marsh, the lefty, is the pinch hitter instead of Wilson. We have the right-hander out there, and Marsh will take a strike. Maton appeared in game 1, struck out Schwarber and Turner, helped strand a couple in the 8th inning of that contest. Marsh will take outside.
Maton's got a sinker. He's got a little curveball that he loves to throw for big situations. But he has been really good since he come over to the Mets this year. He has been a nice find and a late inning warrior for them.
Backdoor curveball for a strike. Marsh is 0 for 8 in the series, trying to get something going for Philadelphia after the Mets tacked on insurance runs in the 6th and 7th. 4 of them to be exact. 2-2.
I was a little surprised after they scored the 2 insurance runs that they sent Manaea back out there. I mean, look, I'm all for keeping the starter out. You know that.
Yep.
But once they got those insurance, it seemed like it would be a good time to kind of give somebody a clean inning. But I love the chance to take him batter to batter, too.
And you go around, He did not. Marsh held back, and it's 3-2. He gets the ovation. He gets the walk off to that big crowd reaction. You see Marsh on the check swing. And I would imagine, too, because of those insurance runs, any opportunity it feels like Carlos Mendoza has to save any arms in his bullpen after what's gone on in the last week plus, I would imagine he would try to do.
Yeah, that was a huge performance from Minaya tonight. They needed that bad.
6-0 Mets. Sosa at first and a 3-2 to Marsh. Just got a piece. '26-year-old from Georgia. Comes from an athletic family. His sister Erin won the gold at the heptathlon at the Pan American Games in Chile. That's a 7-event marathon. A really athletic Marsh family from the state of Georgia. Payoff pitch to Brandon. Waved down and missed. Maton gets the out. Minaya 7+, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. Down to Tom Verducci for more.
2 years ago, Sean Minaya called it the worst moment of his career, pitching against the Phillies in the postseason. Out of the bullpen for San Diego. Game 4 of the NLCS, Minaya gave up 5 runs in 1 1/3 innings. He went back to his hotel room that night in Philadelphia and said, something has to change. Immediately, he looked up the number for Driveline, the high-tech pitching lab in Washington, and made an off-season appointment to basically remake himself as a pitcher. Fitness, repertoire. What you're seeing tonight is a 2-year journey of remaking himself at the age of 32. And now tonight, pitching once again against those same Phillies in the postseason, it has to be the greatest moment of his career. At 32, a 9-year veteran looking for his first postseason victory.
A strike to Schwarber. Minaya, that fateful 4-run 5th inning, that Hoskins home run in that NLCS contest that put Philadelphia into position to be 1 step away from reaching the World Series, which they eventually did. Inside for a ball on Schwarber. Minaya was an emotional signing when he came to the New York Mets. And he chose that jersey number 59 to honor his brother David, who passed away from cancer at that age, the same day that Sean inked his contract with the New York Mets. That's why he wears that 59. And an emotional night for him. Maton, though, issues a walk to Kyle Schwarber. Still the top of the order. We said it in the last half inning. No lead feels safe in this series in particular with how these offenses have been. And now Turner comes to the plate with 2 on and 1 out.
What'd you think of that pitch selection? 3-1 sweeper. If Schwarber hits a 2-run homer, you're still up 6-2. You can't walk guys. That's the big key right here. And if you're Phil Maton, why 3-1 sweeper?
Can't speak to it, buddy.
Turner 1 hit and a walk tonight in 3 trips. Breaking ball, nub foul.
But I do love that story that Tom just shared with us about him reinventing himself at 32. It just goes to show you, as competitors, you never stop adjusting. You never stop trying to be great. And if there's something you can do to make yourself better, if you want to stay in the game, you got to do it.
Ooh, the curveball that Turner very much disagrees with, and understandably so. 0-2 the count.
Wow.
Felt way outside. 0-2.
I believe that's probably one of those. The umpire looks at him and goes, you know what, I blew that.
Doug Eddings behind the plate tonight. Turner can get on. It's a big momentum shift, but he goes down swinging on a curveball. Foul tip. Nope, foul tip. Beg your pardon. Rob Thompson told us, and this is to the point that you made, AJ, if he gets on, it's the domino effect. So this is a huge at bat for Maton and for Turner, with still 5 outs to work with for Philadelphia offensively. Mets will have 6, 7, and 8 in the bottom of the 8th inning with a 6-0 lead as it stands now. A 1-2 pitch to Turner with new life. 2-2. Can Turner find the power? You see Ryan Stanek. He saw that bullpen camera shake. 2-2 pitch. Jam shot bouncer up the first base line. Maton will grab it and take it to the bag for out number 2. Both Sosa and Schwarber advance, and that will bring up Harper in yet another big at bat for the Philadelphia leader.
This is not an easy play. As you're running towards first base right there, it's very easy to not get all the way down on that ball and get your glove underneath it. He does a good job of getting to his legs right there. Watch, this is a long way to go, too, with a very, very fast runner. Great athlete out there, AJ.
I'm not laughing at Maton, I'm just laughing at Waino. But that's why you have this mound visit, I would think, right? To, hey, Maton had to run a long way. Let's make sure you're settled in for, again, the biggest at bat of this inning now.
And also you got Bryce Harper at the plate. How are we going to pitch this guy? You know, we're going to act like this is just about you getting the breath, but we also want to talk about how we're pitching, because you can't just put him on, AJ.
I'd go right after him. Who cares if he hits a 3-run homer?
That's right.
You're still up 6-3. Go right after him right here. Again, we talked about it the other day. Sometimes you have to go after guys to be able to walk them in later at bats. Just tease them enough. Like when Sean Manaea punched him out on 3 pitches in the 6th inning, right? Teased him with pitches, got him out.
And if you're the Phillies, if you're Harper, one swing of the bat could reignite a team.
Sosa halfway down the third base line, and a backdoor sweeper misses outside to Harper. 1-0. A ground out in the first. He grounded out with 2 men aboard in the third to end the inning, and then came up with 2 on and nobody out against Manaea in the 6th. Struck out on those 3 pitches, and the next batter was Castellanos, who hit into a double play, which shifted the momentum back in New York's favor. 2 balls and no strikes here on Harper.
Harper knows he's coming at him right now. We're probably about to see a big swing.
I disagree. I think they go breaking ball here. The way they pitched to him so far, it looks like Maton wants no part of him.
Well, that's all.
Stayed away. 3-0.
Those aren't even close. I just don't get that. You got a 6-run lead here. Do not put more guys on base. You cannot put more guys on base. They've got to hit their way back into this game. There's already been 1 walk in this inning. You can't have another one.
A 3-0. Take it all the way a strike.
What? Throw another one right there.
Yep.
I mean, the only 6-run homer I've ever seen was when Pablo Sandoval hit one in Dubai when they could do the money ball for double the points.
A Sandoval drop in the middle of game 3. 3 balls and a strike on Harper. And it's hit hard into right field. Taylor coming on. That'll get down for a base hit. In is Sosa. Schwarber, not the fleetest of foot, gets the stop sign at third, and the Phillies are on the board with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
But to your point, AJ, so what, right? But for Philly, you have to look at it from both sides here. Philly, now they're thinking, okay, all right, now we're down 5. We got the right guys coming up.
And Mendoza's coming out to grab Maton. Stanek was ready to go for Castellanos in the 8th.
Pitch punch out to Bryce Harper. 3 nasty, nasty pitches. He gets ahead of Nick Castellanos. Fastball up, fastball in. Goes changeup off the plate. Line drive, double play, and watch Manaea's reaction. He knew the moment. That was the moment. for him, the way he pitched, and the moment so far for the Mets.
And now Castellanos is up against Stanek with runners at the corners. Hits the first pitch out to left field. Nimmo has to play it on a bounce. Schwarber will score. On to second goes Harper. Castellanos another RBI in the series. And the Phillies add a pair in this 8th inning with 2 down.
Now all of a sudden you're just 1 runner away from 1 swing.
Walks, though.
I know.
Walks falling behind in the count. Now Castellanos swung at the first pitch, but you walk Schwarber. Infield hit to start the inning. You walk Schwarber, then you fall behind Harper. You got to come after him. Now you're in it.
Tying run is on deck now. And here comes Alec Bohm. And here comes the Citi Field crowd. Bohm sends one out towards left center. Long run for Bader. The insurance runs for New York are looming large as the Phillies get on the board. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Lights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today as all the starters get together to celebrate Sean Manaea's outing. He does get charged with one of those 2 runs in that Philadelphia 8th. Carlos Esteves is on, facing the pinch hitting JD Martinez to begin the last of the 8th. Those insurance runs in the 6th and 7th, big for New York, as Philadelphia finally cracked the scoreboard. Ball.
And with 2 outs, they got out. Imagine if it was 4-2 right now.
And you see Marsh in center field. Now this would have a much different feel. And again, no game feels done. Not only in this series, but I feel like across the 4 series. First time in Major League history, at least since this format started in the mid-1990s, that all 4 division series are tied at 1 game apiece, which blows my mind that that's even the case. But that is the case this year. And man, it feels like any of these teams can beat their opposition, all 4 series.
If it was 4-2 right now, we would have like an 85% chance to have a lead change.
Is that a Fox foresight that you just gave? Is made up right there on the spot?
We'll never know.
Ball 4.
Ball 4 to JD Martinez. Speaking of which, coverage continues next with Game 3 between the Dodgers and the Padres. And then Game 3 between the Guardians and Tigers, and Yankees and Royals. We'll have Game 4 between the Phillies and Mets on FS1. That's what the bracket looks like. 4 ties across the board. We'll have Walker Buehler and Michael King for the Dodgers and Padres coming up next with Joe, John, and Ken. Luis Angel Acuna takes a big cut. Had 3 home runs during his first Major League action. All of them came here at Citi Field. A couple of them against Philadelphia. The younger brother of Ronald Acuna Jr. Quickly, 0-2. Acuna made an appearance in Game 1 at the plate and struck out. He's been a defensive sub all throughout the postseason. Goes down swinging on a fastball from Esteves. 1 away.
It'd be fun to see Acuna develop into a superstar and watch that brother on brother.
They got to see each
battle.
other in that series a couple of weeks back, and obviously Ronald is hurt right now, but was sitting top step when Luis Angel was taking all of his at-bats. Michael Harris robbed him of a base hit, and Acuna had Ronald had a nice smile on his face after that. They got to exchange jerseys. Taylor takes a strike. He had a big play earlier tonight when he cut down Alec Bohm at second base with an outfield assist back in the 4th inning. Ball. 1-1. Esteves, a 1-2-3 8th in Game 2. His second appearance of the set. Traded from the Angels at the end of July. Check swing roller back to Taylor. Esteves tried to barehand it, then he tried to glove it, and neither attempt worked. And Taylor is safe at first, Martinez to second, and Esteves taps his chest saying, "My bad."
Well,
I know what's coming.
Remember when Waino said, look at the athletes on the pitcher's mound? This is why We all have decided pitchers are not athletes.
Starting pitchers.
First of all, why does he try to get the ball with his bare hand to start? He does it the complete opposite. That should be glove, and then this should be bare hand, and he does neither, and then he almost trips. But
that would have been a great flip, though. Had the ball been in the glove, that would have been a great flip.
if.
Ifs and buts and candy and nuts, et cetera, et cetera.
He's a big man, though. He wouldn't have, I don't think he could have got down to glove that ball initially.
Now it's 2 on and 1 out for Alvarez. Estevez has to regather himself after that misfire. Foul back.
I think that ball was the changeup that you talked about earlier. It was the changeup. It wasn't hit very hard. I think he thought it was hit harder.
Could have been.
0-2.
Tricky stuff on those PFPs, AJ.
Those one hoppers.
One and two on the New York catcher.
So far today, Alvarez has been on every fastball, or sorry, every breaking ball thrown to him. He's had big swings on, but he's been a little late on all the fastballs, and Estevez has got a good one. Let's see if he sticks with it.
There's a fastball fouled away.
See that acting job right there? He's late on that ball, but he does not want everybody to know. Wants to get back to that breaking ball.
Two on, 1 out in the 8th, and a 1-2 pitch to Alvarez. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Estevez. 26 saves between the Angels and the Phillies this year, 6 of them with Philadelphia. Had his best ERA. Former All-Star with the Angels last season, but struggled in the second half. Check swing foul. This is only the second series that Estevez has appeared in. As you see Alvarez having a laugh after he had that one headed towards Lindor. Estevez appeared in the NL wildcard game for the Rockies against the Arizona Diamondbacks 7 years ago. Gets the strikeout of Alvarez here, 2 down. Speaking of some past playoff performances, Shohei Ohtani arrived with a bang, but man, the Padres, 6 of them out of the park in Game 2 to tie it. Kerry Carpenter, the hero, to back up Tarek Skubal. A 3-run blast for a 3-0 Game 2 win for Detroit. And after the Yankees got after Kansas City in Game 1 in a back-and-forth affair, the Royals answered impressively with a 4-run 4th, led by Salvador Perez. His home run got things going. Everybody tied. Here is Lindor. Strike 1 from Estevez.
Man, you look at all our series included. The Phillies were the favorite because they won the division, however you want to put it. But all 4 of the series have a chance for anybody can win.
Absolutely.
The Yankees, Royals with their big win last night.
Well, that's up.
The Guardians missed a chance, though.
Oh, yeah.
They had a chance to beat Tarek Skubal. And every time Tarek Skubal takes them out for the Tigers, they expect to win. Now, you never expect Clase to give up a home run, especially one like that, to Kerry Carpenter. But that was the Guardians' chance to.
The former Guardian, Francisco Lindor, bangs one down the right field line to add to the New York lead. Stop sign at third base for Taylor. Play at second. Lindor is there safely. Martinez scores at 7-2, and the Phillies bullpen unable to keep the Mets in check in this series so far. A 5-run New York lead in the 8th.
Leadoff walk, and then Lindor does this error on the pitcher, and then he ropes this ball down the left field line. Now, I thought Taylor could have scored on this ball just because you know Castellanos is going to come up with this ball in right field. He's going to throw this ball to second. If Mike Sarbaugh, who does a great job, sends Taylor, he probably scores on this ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Another former Guardian coach, Sarbaugh, swing and a miss from Harrison Bader in his first at bat of the night. He came in as a pinch runner in the 7th, stole second, and scored eventually.
Well, that's all.
Back to the Padres-Dodgers real quick. What's going to be interesting to me, they hit, what, 6 home runs last night, the Padres did?
Yep, game 2.
Sometimes that happens. You go a day or two without hitting one. Not always, but it happens. Can they come back and keep that momentum going?
It got contentious, as we said, the Jurickson Profar robbery, then the incident with the fan. Manny Machado getting into it with his former team. He had everybody in the dugout trying to be the leader. There was a lot going on despite the lopsided score in game 2. Check swing floater foul from Bader and still won it 2. Bader, the New York native from Bronxville. Bronxville High, I should say. Sends one out to center. And here in Queens, Marsh has it to finish off the inning. The Mets tack on another against the Philly pen. Off to the 9th we go. Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. Ryan Stanek, a playoff veteran, who is now with the New York Mets, has a near 60% chance to punch out 2 based on that strikeout per 9 ratio he has this season. The 33-year-old from St. Louis will go to work thanks to Google Cloud for powering those real-time insights. It'll be Real Muto, followed by a pinch hitter in Stott, and then Sosa, unless they go deeper into the bench, which they may. Real Muto hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, still hitless in the series. 0 for 8 so far.
Oh, that's in.
A 5-run New York lead on the verge of taking a 2-1 series lead after Aaron Nola, as you mentioned, Waino, didn't pitch poorly those first 5 innings, just those 2 solo home runs, but ran into a lot of trouble in the 6th. Out to center, Bader, 1 away.
Yeah, I thought Aaron actually settled down really well in the 4th inning. Came back with his best fastball command he had all day. And then in the 5th, he just kind of went back out there, and it seemed like he got away from him a little bit. You know, he just fell into some bad counts and didn't look like himself. 6th inning. Sorry, 6th inning.
That's where he gave up the single to Vientos and then walked Nimmo and Alonso before being pulled.
Yeah, so 5th inning, great command. 6th inning, not so great.
Gotcha.
Sorry. You're good.
So here's the pinch hitter Stott, who had that huge go-ahead RBI triple to put Philadelphia up 6-4 in Game 2. Vientos answered with a 2-run home run, and then the Castellanos walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. Ball. Right back here tomorrow, 5 Eastern. Coverage beginning an hour before on FS1 for Game 4. 1-2 on Stott. Popped up. Lindor waves it off. He's got it. And it'll be Cody Clemens now to pinch hit for Edmundo Sosa. They heard the name Clemens and booed immediately. As he told you, as Cody takes strike 1, his dad pitched twice against the New York Mets in the World Series, once in 1986 in that legendary 7-gamer, and then again in 2000 in the Subway Series. 0-2. Two-strike pitch is a little high and a little outside. Got him. And this amazing run for the Miracle Mets shows its most dominant performance of the playoffs so far to take a 2-1 series lead, and they are 1 win away from an improbable trip to the National League Championship Series. Alonso and Winker started it with home runs. The offense got it going, and when they needed big pitches, Sean Manaea made those big pitches, and it all leads to a 7-2 New York win.
He's fired up. This whole town's fired up, Adam.
They waited a long time for a game of this import at Citi Field. It was electric from the start. Both cities have been on fire in terms of the energy in these buildings. No different here in Flushing, as Pete Alonso and the New York Mets have a 2-1 series lead, with Game 4 coming tomorrow here in New York between these two division rivals. And Mr. Met will be ready to go. The MVP of the Mets season so far, Francisco Lindor, is with Tom Verducci.
Francisco, this team tonight scored 6 runs with 2 outs. The Philadelphia Phillies couldn't get the 3rd out against this lineup. What is it about this offense that has just been on fire this postseason?
Nobody's trying to be bigger than the moment. Everybody's passing the baton. Everybody's enjoying the process. Everybody's in the moment. And yeah, this is a great moment that we're in right now. We just got to keep our heads down and keep working.
You will come to the ballpark tomorrow with a chance to clinch the series, which has not happened here since this ballpark opened. What does that sound like to you?
It sounds like we have a great opportunity in our hands tomorrow, but at the end of the day, we got to come out and give everything we got. They're an amazing team over there. They have been all year long. So tomorrow we got to come out and give everything that we have great at-bats, believe in each other, and enjoy the atmosphere.
Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow, Francisco.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. So here we go. This is the pitching matchup for Game 4. The back up against the wall for Philly. They turn to their all-star lefty Ranger Suarez. Jose Quintana for New York.
Well, Mr. Ice, Jose Quintana pitched so great in Game 3 of the wild card series for the Mets. And then for Ranger Suarez, 1.62 ERA in his postseason career. He hasn't thrown well, but they need him tomorrow.
We'll be here for it tomorrow night. The Mets 1 win away. The Phillies trying to send it back to Philadelphia. For AJ, Adam, and Tom, Adam Amin to the studio, and Kevin Burkhardt.